with me introducing a simple AR app to you. Thanks again for joining us for this forum today. The app that I'm going to introduce today is called WallaMe. For those of you who arrived earlier, I already asked you to download the app if you'd like to give it a try. So it's available on Android and iOS devices. It's a very simple app which allows you to add simple types of content on the walls around you or in the real environment. So the app is called WallaMe, and they call the content that you create with this app walls. Depending on the app that you're using, they use different terminology. So we previously in some of the forums we had in the past introduced Blipper, or some people introduced HP Reveal, which are other apps. So each of those apps have their own terms for the type of AR content that you create. In case of Blipper, it's called Blip. In case of HP Reveal, which used to be Aurasma in the past, they call them auras. So there's a lot of terminology out there. But in case of WallaMe, it's called walls. A wall, you create a wall basically. So we all know that there's tons of smartphone or mobile augmented reality apps out in the market. More is coming. Some are collapsing, going out of business sometimes. Just like Blipper, we heard that it was out of business, but I searched about it the other day and I found out that one of the investors of the company tried to save it and it's back up now. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Yeah. It was news from 4 months ago, although we heard that it was going out of business and going into administration a couple of months ago, I believe. So with these types of apps that we have, and with the spread of smartphones and our students having them, almost everybody having it, it's very easy to use VR, mobile VR in the classroom or any kind of learning environment that you're involved in. WallaMe, as I already mentioned, allows you to, as the developers say, hide messages in the real world. So this app is said to be a useful one when you want to do some virtual graffiti or proximity messaging. So if you're in the same vicinity with other people, you could leave messages to each other and hide them in the real world, and then ask other users or other people in the vicinity, in the proximity, to view those messages using the app. And also to do virtual graffiti, as I already mentioned. Once you download the app, it takes you through some tutorial steps, which is very straightforward and easy. It asks you to take a picture of a wall. I was here last night to attend the Pechakucha night event, and I actually took a picture of this board. And I actually overlaid the MAVR SIG logo on the board. But to show this, I now remember that since the screen is here, I can't duplicate the same shot. So I did create another wall on the other side, which we're going to view later. But sorry, I didn't know that I didn't remember that there's going to be a screen here today, and we don't have the Blackboard view. So anyways. What you do is basically you take a picture of somewhere in the environment. Since this is a location-based AR, it works with GPS coordinates. You have to make sure that whatever you take a picture of does not change. So you don't take a picture of Bobby sitting here, because later on he's going to move and you can't duplicate the same shot, right? So you make sure that whatever you take a picture of is just a constant view of the environment, and it's not going to change so quickly. Next, you add some sort of content to the wall, whatever message in the form of text or freehand writing or picture that you want to leave in the environment. You might be wondering that there are other apps that allow you to do a lot of more cool stuff, add different types of content. As I already mentioned, this is a very simple app which allows you to create AR content just on the mobile app, so you don't need to go to the website, and for that reason, it allows you to add some very simple types of content to the walls that you create. It doesn't really allow you to add 3D models or more like complicated video or audio stuff. So it allows you these types of contents, and once you create the walls, you can share them. There's a social media aspect to this app, which allows you to share the walls that you've created either publicly with all the users on WallaMe or privately with certain users that you specify. And then once you have once these walls have been created, other users or you yourself would be able to discover the walls. I'm going to later show you on my device, or if you have downloaded it, you can try it on your own devices too. like I said, I created 2 walls here yesterday evening, and once you start the app, you'd be able to discover these walls here. And the messages that I left here, they're very simple and quick because they were closing this classroom and I didn't have time to create more complicated stuff. So yeah. Before we try using WallaMe, I want to make a very quick comparison between WallaMe and 2 other apps that have been already introduced in our events. One is Blipper and the other one is HP Reveal, as I mentioned. They're both available on App Store and Google Play Store, so you should be able to easily download them. So in case of WallaMe, it links a picture that you take of the real environment with the GPS coordinates of that location. So it's a location-based AR app. The reason I came here yesterday evening to create those was I just couldn't do it at home because I had to be in the location where I wanted to take a picture. So that, I think, clearly explains why it's a location-based app. And then the type of overlays that you can add in case of WallaMe is quite simple: text, free handwriting, and then images. And to build AR content, you could use the app itself. Whereas in case of more complicated types of apps, which allow you to create more sophisticated AR content, you need to be using the website. Like in case of Blipper, you have to create an account on the website and then start creating your own AR content. But to view the AR content, you use the app. The type of overlays that is allowed in case of, oops, I wanted to use the pointer, there's more variety to the types of content that you can overlay in case of Blipper, like text, images, videos, 3D models, and so on and so forth. And in case of HP Reveal, and Blipper as well, you need to have markers. That is some sort of image that you have to be scanning using the app so that the AR content that you've created can be viewed. So it's not linked to the location where the AR content has been created. One difference between Blipper and HP Reveal is that in case of Blipper, you'd be using the website to create the blips, whereas in case of HP Reveal, to create the Rs, you'd be using the app itself too. Now, if you're wondering what kind of use you could make of this WallaMe app in the classroom, I was brainstorming about it myself, and I'm sure that you may also have your own thoughts too, but I thought it's good for giving some instructions on quest type of tasks, like scavenger hunts to the students. Very quickly go around the place, look for instructions as to how to go through the scavenger hunt. Also, maybe for learning vocabulary, if you have the objects that you want to teach the students around you, you could put the names on those and link them to the location around. I'm sure if we think more about it, there's better ways also to make use of WallaMe in the classroom. Any questions? That was very quick, I guess, because we are somehow running out of time.
When are we finished?
Yeah, we have around 15 minutes.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, this is very simple and easy to create, so I don't think I needed to spend that much time explaining really simple stuff. But once you download the app, I also have it on my iPad here, so maybe easier to see. It takes you through the tutorials, steps, and then you get started. You can log in. Well, maybe log in with I'm already logged in here, so it might be easier to just use my phone, sorry. So it takes you to a page where you see the feed from other walls that have been created and shared publicly with the users of WallaMe. And so if you click this icon, it takes you to the page where you can discover the walls that have been created in the environment. I already created 2, like I said, and maybe we can try the one that I took a shot of on the of that side of the classroom. So if I open this, it asks me to. It already shows me a preview of the place where the photo has been taken, so I know it's that side of the classroom. And then if I click on this and I duplicate the same shot, maybe it's not very easy for. The thing is, there are people around. So I can't easily duplicate the same shot.
Did you take
So
the back
I
of
took
the
the picture from
there?
I
Okay.
took the picture from here, and then there was no one of us.
So it right
So-
from that thumb there.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Maybe I should have just done it on the wall, actually.
Here?
Yeah, but you probably need to be a bit farther. Yeah. Let me see.
I still on the shot.
No, you're good. You're good. What? I
Yeah.
don't know.
Anyways,
Not
maybe
sure
if
what
I
I'm
have the
supposed
time
do.
to, I could very quickly start creating something on one of the walls and.
Actually, since we only have 15 minutes,
Yeah.
I'm going to suggest that I skip my
Sure.
presentation. So we have,
Ah.
because everyone really wanted to have a chance to play with these things.
Okay, all right. I hope you don't mind. Sorry.
Because, yeah, then if I did it, then we wouldn't have any chance to,
Yeah.
to play around.
Okay, sure. So let me just very quickly take a picture here now that we have the time to. So once it turns green, it means that it's a good shot. And then it allows you to add some photos or do some freehand writing or add some typed texts on top of this. So let's say I want to load a photo on this. And then you can scale the photo the way you want to. Make it bigger, smaller, change its location. And then it asks you if you want to share it publicly, visible to everyone or not. I want it to be visible to everyone. And once I've created that, now those of you who have downloaded the app should be able to find this wall.
You already put it down?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here it comes when I go to the Discover tab.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and then you need to come closer and duplicate the same shot. So now here, I see the logo that I put.
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yay!
I passed it.
So what comes up on the screen? It's an overlay?
Yeah, it's an overlay. I just
Right.
did it very quickly, very simply. You can add
Right.
text, like I said, or do your own handwriting, or add photos. Very easy, very on-the-go type of AR.
Yeah, but if you don't bring it, if it's not that exactly.
Yeah, it has to be the same shot.
This is too far.
Yeah, it's working at this distance, right? Yeah, so basically you need to duplicate the same shot and make sure that it's not different from the original one.
They're saying
All right,
if
now-
you're really tall, it needs to be like a little bit shorter when you take a picture for students to be able to see it.
That's something I didn't thought of because I'm not that tall.
Students will be walking around like this.
Right.
That's gonna be the trick.
And if it's a different angle, maybe the app is not gonna work. Yeah. Good point.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it can be quite sensitive then with
Yeah.
pickup?
Yeah, I guess that's why they say it's better to, like, they call it walls, because it has to be something stable. Maybe if you want to leave messages or instructions to your students in class, it's better to use the walls to make sure that it stays the same.
Oh, there
And
you go.
there's not going to be people on the way to.
So could I say, for example, like I say to all my students that you're going to have to do the homework, and I take a picture of my office door.
Yeah.
So students will actually have to come.
Mm.
So could I set it so that different students will get different messages then, right? From one tag?
From the same wall that you create, I don't think different students
So
will
it'd be
get
just like
different
one image, but then have different messages tailing up.
You have to make
Yeah.
different groups because you said you could send them privately, right? So you'd have to have the students broken up into like different groups, and you'd send each one a different
Yeah.
link.
If
Yeah,
you
right.
share them privately with a set of cohort or group of students, then maybe they can see different types of content.
So like in my uni, there's a global plaza, and so students are supposed to go like however many times. So that would maybe a good way of getting that information to them. So they have to go there to then see what the info is. I guess like there could be lots of having it physically.
So you put the like exam answer or something. And
Yeah, if you want the answers to the
they have to go there.
Yeah.
But if you want to see your score, I've hidden it somewhere in the room.
Students would start thinking things were easier in the past. We can check our scores. Now we need to download an app, use AR to view our scores.
I suppose you can make like an on-the-spot like scavenger hunt with this, like
Yeah,
go
yeah,
here,
yeah,
go
yeah.
to the next thing, kind of
Exactly. Yeah. Usually for quick stuff and
Yeah,
which is not a lot of
it's
content.
really
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
I can see it being used for like read and run type activities.
Yeah. That's a good idea, Kevin.
So could I guess the wall could be a person's face, right?
As long as it doesn't change from day to day.
Weird one. You can-
No
Yeah,
makeup, no beard.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe you could do like a license plate if you got to go find this car, you don't know where it is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's right.
Brian, if you zoomed in enough, like there's nothing else around, like in the picture frame, then yeah, you could have a digital
If you
tattoo
just have
on your
like a
face.
nose or something.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
mean, students do that for their for some of the high tech phones. Is the facial recognition, right?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's
The face lenses, the
Yeah.
filters. maybe.
you know like my phone does like a retinal thing.
Yeah. I think this computer does too, if you want to
Or
unlock
iris,
it.
not
Yeah.
retina, iris recognition.
All of these augments are tied to a GPS set of GPS coordinates.
Yeah.
So maybe you can't follow something around because that'll confuse the system, right?
Right.
Because we get a list of
You get a
walls
list
that
of
are
the
in
walls,
your,
yeah.
in your vicinity,
Yep.
your current GPS location.
Yep.
So yeah, that might be.
Yeah,
zooming
and
around it might be good.
so once you tap on one of those walls and you try to discover the message that's being hidden there, you can't just keep the same, camera view and move to a different spot and view the next wall, because you need to get out of that camera view and then go to another wall, directly click on that, tap on it, and then start scanning it. That's what I discovered when trying. So it's not like you go on the camera mode, you move around,
Yeah,
you
you
see
just
all the
go
walls.
walk around
Yeah.
like this, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's how it tries to keep the content kind of easier to track and also to show, because otherwise it may be, usually we know that GPS is not that accurate when you're in the same room. There is usually a level of inaccuracy for 2 or 3 meters, so if you don't have a large space, maybe that could cause problems. But I guess to overcome that issue, they have made it possible to discover the messages only if you tap on that certain shot that you've taken before.
One overlay per trigger.
Yeah.
It's very computationally low, not heavy. Right?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, that's true. And one thing that I've noticed is makes a difference between this app and other ones that I've tried before. Well, for those which you add videos or audio or more heavy type of content, it takes time for the content to load. So it kind of ruins the sense of like believing that it actually exists in the real environment. You're waiting for the thing to load, and then you're not tricked into the fact that, oh, this is augmented reality and you're having some digital objects in the real environment which are meant to make you believe that they actually exist there. With this one, since it's quick, I think it creates that sense
Last
more
5
easily.
minutes.
Thank you.
So this is the best one. Like I tried the HP one the other year.
HP
and
Reveal,
it was,
yeah.
My eyes struggled. It was slow and.
Yeah, it can be slow, can be not easy to scan the trigger and make sure that the content loads. Yeah.
The only one I've
Like
used
the
that
second one?
hasn't been slow, my university, all the students use it. It's called Zapper.
Zapper.
Maybe you've heard of it, I'm not sure, but we use it for open campus and PR events
Nice.
and things like that. And it's not location based, which
Yeah.
I think is really cool.
Yeah.
It's just a code. And you
Yeah.
And then you scan the code and then everything
Right.
comes to life. Yeah.
Oh.
It's
But-
marker based, like Blooper
It's
or
marker based, yeah.
yes.
But it is nice to have, like a video
Location.
floating there
Yeah.
or links and things
Sure.
like that.
Sure.
But, yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Any other points or comments, questions?
One thing, when I tried to sign into that app and
Yeah.
asked for either a Facebook account or a phone number,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel comfortable giving either one to an unknown company. And I
Yeah.
know a lot of my students wouldn't have Facebook accounts, so they'd have to be giving their phone number.
That's true.
So I was quite uncomfortable with even recommending that to a student, saying, here,
That's-
give this random company your phone number.
Yeah, that's a point that we need to consider, and I think Eric and Jay are gonna.
Actually, Jake Lopaki and I are giving a presentation about legal issues and immersive learning later this
Yep.
afternoon. We'll be talking about some of those issues.
I see.
And
Yeah.
because not only is this app, taking your social graph, but it's tracking where you are in the world,
Yeah.
what you're looking at. There's a lot of
Yeah.
privacy and
True. Yeah.
data collection concerns with this.
Is that the
technology.
same issue with the other two, the Flipper and the HP? Do they also require you to give a number, or? Is it-
They don't. As far as I know, you can just use an email to create an account, and since they're not location based, from what I know, it doesn't really
They
track
both still
where you
track
are.
you.
Sorry.
They both still track you.
So you just have to turn off those individual apps from running in the background like all the time.
Or turn off your location services.
Yeah.
It's-
Uh,
You're really worried about that stuff, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Thank you very much. Eric, anything that you want to add?
Okay, so, originally I had prepared a presentation about one last app, and it's called, I'll just write it quickly on the board here, and I'll probably try and reprise it either at our next event or at the next forum. It's called Orientation. You can go to orientation.com. So it's orientation, but just change the O with an A for AR.
Why is it not showing here?
Just the screen is extended.
Yeah.
So the whole goal of this, just to briefly talk about it, the whole goal of this is to bring down the workflow of creating augmented reality environments to a very simple, anybody can use system. So everybody knows how to use a Google form. So now with a set of predefined triggers, which is in the form of a set of playing cards, 52 playing cards, which are all Creative Commons. You can download them for free and print them out yourself, or choose to get some printed versions of them. And then with a simple Google form, you can go on the Google form and say, I want card 1, which is the ace of clubs, to display this image, or stream this YouTube video, or display this website, or show this 3D model, or something like that. And just with that simple premise, students are creating like all types of crazy kind of gamified scavenger hunts like we talked about before. Sort of like escape room type situations, and we're using these in our School of Global Tourism to create customized content for heritage sites. So if you want to go and get information in a specific language, you only have one poster there, and then depending on what language you want to see, you just set your phone to that language and you can tour the site with your customized content. And I got probably a half a dozen case studies. I can talk for quite a bit about it, but I wanted to try to use the last couple minutes so you can talk with the presenters. We only have maybe 1 or 2 minutes left, so have a question or two, sort of get up and use the app if you can. And also come see us in August 2nd and 3rd for our next event, and our next forum at Shelp National, which is where?
Nagoya.
Nagoya, in November. We'll be there too. And 2 other presentations today, I should probably mention. Jay and I are after lunch, after the plenary, immersive issues, legal issues and immersive learning, and then just after that, in the same room, is Sam and Adam. They developed a curriculum based on augmented reality using, I think, Blipper, that they're going to be sharing. And later in the afternoon, one of our members, Ewan, is having a poster session on an AR app that he's developed for extensive reading library. So students are using it to share content and their experiences reading books and rating them for use in their extensive reading program at, I think it was Kanda University?
Yeah, Kanda University of
University.
International Studies.
So if you want to keep the discussion going, also tonight after the reception, there's going to be all of us MAVRs getting together informally for maybe a drink or two. So after, if you see us at the reception and you want to join us, don't hesitate to tag along with us. And thanks for coming today. Hope to see you again online and next time. Thanks a lot, guys.
You alright? Yeah.
I might chip in.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
So some of the chats.
Yeah.
I'm still getting all the officer stuff. My notes.
Remember I told you this morning, or was it
So, yeah, I think you should try to talk to Gary.
Yeah. Is he here today?
He's supposed to. He said like he would, but I haven't seen him yet.
Right.
And then also there's Luis invited Suwako. Have you met
Yeah.
Suwako?
I'm doing poster with Sawako.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like so. I thought
And
like
Paul
she
both
might be.
he's in the